All right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. Just a little background. My name is Martina Davis, and I'm a proud alumni and current graduate student here at the CUNY School of Professional Studies. I'm honored to be here today as the moderator for our Joyce Jones session to continue our student leadership conference. We have an amazing speaker today. Her name is Crystal Delones, who is passionate about doing her part to make the world a more just, accessible, and equitable place by way of honoring humanity and celebrating the ancestors. She's currently employed as an Opportunity Programs student counselor at NYU, where she uses her talents to allow herself to bring communities back together full circle. We hope you enjoy our show today, our program today, and if you have any questions, please feel free to do so and add them in the chat. We will also be having a survey at the end, so please look out for that link. And Crystal, I'm gonna ask you to take it away whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Martina. I appreciate you. Just to clarify, folks, I use they, ellos pronouns. I know I'm conditioned to use she, her. There is absolutely, it's all love, Martina. It's all love. I just wanted to say that for the group, because I also think it's important, not that I dare to serve as a singular representation or tokenism for anyone, right. But if anyone else in here is exploring that part of themselves, or as I like to say, we're not becoming, but rather we're realizing who we are and shedding the layers of conditioning. If that is part of your journey, I am not only here for you, but I am rooting for you and supporting you. So yeah, my name is Crystal. I usually sign my email CD, so people sometimes call me that. But you can call me either or. I'm not with the formalities. If you are somebody who is super formal, it's not Mr. or Miss. It's actually mix, as in mixing a bowl. It's MX. That is the gender neutral for that. So in case anybody, fun fact. But hi, I'm Crystal. I am a student counselor. I've been in higher ed, not counting when I was a student, since 2012. So I am not new to this game. I'd like to think I'm true to it. I also was an Opportunity Program scholar when I was an undergrad. So for anybody who might have been OP, meaning you're SEEK now, or you're ASAP, or maybe that's how you got started. There's also EOP or HEOP. And there's also C-STEP. So I was C-STEP. There's a lot of OP programs, and I'm glad that that's a thing. But yeah, intentions. I not only want to encourage you to celebrate yourself, but I want to hopefully make sure you have a good time. I want this to not be a waste of your time. So whether it be your lunch break or an hour that you've designated and you move something else around, I would hope that you hopefully have a good time. As I like to say, as a very radical person who is shameless about it, we must seize the means of production. So our worth is not tied to all that we accomplish and all that we produce and all that we do. Our worth is tied to our existence. And so with every breath you take, you deserve to be celebrated. That's what I'd like to say. But also because we exist at all, at any point in time, it still deserves to be celebrated. It doesn't stop. But yeah, so I like to spin pedagogy, which is the way in which we learn, fancy words. I like to spin it on its head because I like to play and dismantle what academia tends to be conditioned to us as. So we have to be within four walls of a classroom. We have to be in person. There's one person who gets all the attention and no one else can speak. I like to spin all of that. So I have a game for you all, and you're welcome to play in whatever way you'd like. I want you to honor your truth and who you are. And so if you are somebody who is nonverbal, honor that. If you want to use the chat instead, do it that way. If you want to send a private message, send away. If you want to participate on your own, that's a way of honoring yourself. So even if you decide to answer each prompt, even though it's not your designated prompt, there's no right or wrong in how you're going to play, as long as you're being respectful of yourself and hopefully everyone else that's here. Because again, my goal is for you all to have a good time and to celebrate yourselves. So I went ahead and chose what I like to think is the simplest form, which is a card deck. And so what I did is I assigned each number or letter in the card deck, not necessarily by the color or by the suit of the card, but rather the letter or number of the card to a specific prompt. And so depending on who would like to go, I will go first because I think it's important to model. Then you would answer that prompt. But if you do not want to answer that prompt, you can choose whatever other prompt you'd like. Again, I'm flexible. So I will go through the prompts first. That way people get a general sense of how things are. And then from there, if you decide to outwardly participate, that hopefully empowers you to pick which prompt if you don't like the one that is randomly selected from the card deck. And so if any of us draw an ace, the idea is to have affirmation time. So we're going to take a moment to share an affirmation from a card deck that I have. So I also have a bunch of card decks with me. You can also share an affirmation that maybe you like, that you already know, that you actively use with other people, or that you just need to remind yourself of. Again, flexible. 2 is manifestation practice. And so we are going to speak something into existence. So an example of this structure could be, I will. Okay, and then you can finish that sentence. 3 is a self-care accountability challenge. So we are going to share a part of our self-care regimen, whether it's something that we previously did, we're currently doing, or we hope to do in the future. Very important, this is not a shame moment. There are moments sometimes where we don't have the bandwidth, we don't have the energy to take care of ourselves. It's not a shame moment. So if it's something you've been doing or something you want to do, the point is to celebrate yourself, okay? Not a shame moment. 4 is a joy zone exchange, or a joy exchange. So we're going to share something that brings us joy. It can be, for those who are on social media, maybe you have a favorite social media account, maybe you have a favorite book, or a book that you're reading right now that brings you joy. Maybe there's a place. It can be anything you'd like, something that brings you joy. 5 is conference feedback. Whether this is the first day you're going to the conference, or maybe you went yesterday, or maybe there's something you're looking forward to later in the week. I would encourage people to share something that maybe you've learned or you've unlearned in this experience. And maybe hopefully this will also encourage, it'll be our way of encouraging one another to challenge what we're conditioned to. 6 is empowerment time. We are going to give ourselves compliments. Okay, and that can be whatever compliments you like. It can be based on physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever you'd like, but you are going to compliment yourself. 7 is a gratitude shout out. So we're going to show gratitude for someone, any one of your choosing. It can be a coworker, it can be a mentor, it can be a teacher, it can be someone in this space, it could be someone not in this space, it can be somebody who's on this plane of existence, or maybe an ancestor, someone who's not with us right now. Anyone you'd like. Complete bonus, this is not homework, I'm not policing you. You don't have to do it, I will not be checking, but if it's helpful and relevant, feel free to also share that on your social media platform. So it could be on LinkedIn if you want to, if it's a coworker, for example, you might want to give them a shout out there. 8 is share a vibe. So share a song that brings you joy. Your joy is your joy. If it means that that song brings you joy, but it's a sad song, but it resonates with you, it makes you feel seen, there's no right or wrong. That's your truth and you honor it. So you share that song. It could be an angry song, a happy song, a dance song, an instrumental that doesn't have lyrics. It can be whatever you'd like it to be. 9 is honor yourself. So, sorry, folks. Check out a feelings wheel, which I'm more than happy to pull up for folks if you'd like, and share how you're feeling and allow yourself to be supported. So if in that moment, an example can be, I feel happy because I got to spend quality time with my dog today. And I would like to be supported by being able to go for another walk later today, maybe by leaving early or whatever that is. That's not my actual answer. That was just random things that came to mind. But the point is practicing how to articulate how we feel, especially if you are somebody who comes from an environment where your feelings have not only been negated, but you've been forced to repress them. Being able to just articulate them, again, verbally, non-verbally, however, is a very big, important thing. So if this is a pivotal change for you, I'm happy to be a part of it. 10 is put some respect on your name. If you are somebody who that inner voice tends to be a little too loud, it's not a shame moment. Just know that voice is probably not yours, and it's the conditioning of someone else's voice trying to trick you into thinking that you are anything less than worthy. The goal is to acknowledge and share something that you've accomplished or that you're striving towards with the group. Because again, your worth is not tied to what you do, but that also doesn't mean that we all aren't doing things at any given point in time. So celebrating even what you might perceive as something small, it's not about the size. Sometimes it's about the vector. It's about the fact that you're trying, you're continuing to do the work. So that's 10, put some respect on your name. J is focus on the good, which is a deck that uses positive psychology. And I have that deck with me. So I'll just pick a card and read it to you. Queen is make today magical, which is another deck that I have that I will pull a random card for you for. If we were in person, I would enable you to pick your own card, so bear with me. If in pulling from those decks, you want me to redraw, just let me know. Closed mouths don't get fed. And while I know people out here can read minds, I'm not one of those people. So please help me help you. And if anyone draws a king, you get to pick whichever one you'd like or make one up. But again, at any point in time, if you would like to do that, just let me know. How does that sound for folks? Any thumbs up reactions? I know my screen is only so big, but it helps. Thank you, folks. Just that one little click of a button makes a world of difference. Please make no doubt about it. Okay, so as promised, I will draw first. Okay, so I drew an 8. So an 8 is to share a vibe or share a song that brings you joy. So fun fact, I really enjoy sound baths. And in case anyone is familiar with them, they are non-instrumental, they're based on frequency. And so depending on the frequency, it vibrates within your energy. I'm not gonna go all the way into it, but I'm actually listening to a sound bath right now in the background. So I will put it on the group chat or the chat button for anybody who, like me, stims in the background. Shout out to anybody who, I know people tend to say neurodivergent, or atypical, but I like to think of us as neuro elite. That might be a little bit much for some people, but I'd like to think if you get out your feelings, you'd appreciate that. All right, so I will put this one in the chat for folks if anyone is interested in ever checking it out. But that is my share of vibe. This helps me feel grounded. But okay, if you would like to go next, I would imagine don't use the reaction button, use the raise your hand button. That way it'll order for me who wants to go when, and it'll also empower you if you ever want to lower your virtual hand, that you can take yourself out swiftly. So I will wait for folks to virtually raise their hands. I should also say our names are part of who we are and they deserve to be respected. So I also want to thank folks in advance if I need corrections on how I'm pronouncing your name. So your name is a part of who you are and you deserve to be treated like the whole person that you are, not just the sum of your parts, while not forgetting that without all of our parts, we can't be whole. Martina, I will pick a card. So you have a 3, and if you would like to do the 3 is share a self-care accountability. So what is a part of your self-care regimen?
Okay, so I'm kind of big on self-care, right? I feel like if we're not taking care of ourselves, how can we do so effectively to others that are around us, at our workplace, personal lives, and on a daily basis? So my self-care regimen is basically getting a massage every 2 to 3 months. On a weekly basis, I take walks just by the Whitestone Bridge and clear my head. Every day after work, I try to unwind in my car before I come upstairs. After I leave my workplace, before I come upstairs to my family, I take away the work stress and I take away anything that's been troubling me for the day. So that way I'm able to come up and be effective with them, as opposed to bringing home any type of issue that I've had during the day. I feel like it's beneficial to do so, because if you're not taking care of yourself, again, how can you be effective in your day-to-day process with those that are around you? You're a walking billboard, right? So you have to be taking well care of yourself. And just those little things, if it's just to walk away for a second, that could do a world of help to make sure that you're in a better space and you're not giving off those same reactions to other people, because we feed off of each other, right? So negativity or sadness, that all, like I'm kind of like a ball of happiness at times, I want to say. So I feel like self-care is important, and doing just anything that you feel is that your definition of self-care might be different from mine, but just try.
I
Thanks.
honor your truth, Martina. And I'm really appreciative that you shared it with me and with the group. I'm really proud of you for practicing self-care. It sounds like you're using boundaries, and I love that for you. You deserve the world, and may no one ever tell you anything less.
Thank you.
Okay, so I will go back to my participations tab, and
There's
next
a
we have
couple.
Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, hello folks. My name is Mike, a student
Hey,
of SPS. Yeah, I'm at
you
work
have
currently. I have 7. What is this? Gratitude. Uh, oh, I have a lot of gratitude. Like I work at Well Cornell Medicine in renal pathology with amazing doctors, and one of the my doctor, she's my mentor. It's a Surya session, and she's amazing. She's world famous pathologist, and I really appreciate um, her help in any directions. Like she helps me. Actually, she's the reason she pushed me to apply to CUNY SPS. I have a degree. I'm a former lawyer from Russia. So, and she pushed me to apply for HIM at CUNY SPS, kind of to do things. And I really appreciate that. And, my doctor I work with is Steven Salvador. He's out right now, but also he's an amazing person, and he also helps me in terms of organizing things. He's the best at these things. So yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate being here. Yep.
Thank you, Mike. I'm really glad that you have these people in your life. You deserve to have a support system. May that not be confused with you not being capable on your own, but I'm really glad that you have that support, because you deserve that. So thank you for sharing. Next we have Anthony.
Hi, Crystal. I love a card game.
I'm glad to be here for you, Anthony. You have 4 if you would like it.
Or if I like it, something that brings me joy. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is the beach. The beach at any time of the year, but particularly the beach in fall and winter. I love the solitude. I love like sort of just looking at the endless, what seems like an endless vista of water. I love to bring a book, go by myself, and spend hours there by myself. I just feel like it's a hard thing to describe, but I feel completely alone and in my own space. But I also feel so connected to the earth and nature. So it's not a lonely feeling. And I just love it. I also would go to the beach in the summer. I do go to the beach in the summer every chance I get, because there's just nothing that I don't love about the beach. I love it.
I am hoping that you get to go to the beach again very soon.
Thank you.
And I'm also very thankful that you understand the difference between being alone and feeling lonely, because you deserve to have your solitude, but you don't ever deserve to feel like you are alone in this world. So thank you for sharing, Anthony. Next we have Leah.
I pronounce it Leia.
Leah, thank you very much. You have an 8 if you would like it.
Oh, yes. So I've been having this Fall Out Boy Century song stuck in my head because I want to feel that what I do is great and has impact, and it really hypes me up, especially when I've been feeling down and feeling as if I'm not contributing to anything. So that's definitely been the song. And then I'm gonna share it with it's and sync. It's gonna be me just because of all those jokes. It's gonna be May. So that's another song I'm vibing with.
Thank you very much for sharing, Leia. And to quote centuries, they will remember you for centuries.
Definitely. And that instinct puts it on like spot on. It's gonna be you.
Thank you for sharing, Leia. I know we don't have someone after Leia that has raised their hand. So in case folks are in that zone where they want to be nonverbal, I'm still gonna go ahead and draw a card. So I drew a 7. And in case anybody wants to send a private message, I say what I mean and I mean what I say, folks. You do not have to verbally participate. And so I went ahead and drew a 7. And so for those who are in a nonverbal state, 7 is a gratitude share out. So maybe in the private message, you might want to non-verbally share some shout outs. And then my co-host can help me verbally speak those into existence with us.
Definitely. I don't see anything coming through.
To give folks as much time as they'd like. In an effort to continue to model, I shall answer it myself to hold myself accountable. So my gratitude share out would be my mom. I'm very thankful that I have her in my life. I'm very thankful that I got to spend quality time with her yesterday. I don't get to see her every day. So that is my shout out, my mom.
Okay. Are you going to pull again? I can go again.
Yeah, you got it. So I'm glad you are. Next is a 5 if you would like it.
Sure. So I'm very honored to be a part of this experience. It's my first time attending the conference on this level, and I'm hoping to attend in the years to come. I'm appreciative to be a part of some of the planning sessions for this, and I look forward to see how well it molds and shapes a lot of us going further in our endeavors. It's quite an experience, and I'm honored. I think we all are doing great things in our own personal spaces, but to be able to come together like this and get a, like a share of what another is going through, or maybe be able to feed off each other and get some good positive vibes, I think as well. And I'm honored to be here alongside you, Crystal and Nikita. So let's keep it going.
Like, I appreciate you appreciating me, appreciating you. Okay. We haven't done any of the decks I have with me, so I think I'm going to. Oh, okay.
I see 2 people have raised their hands.
And I think that was just, you see how I spoke that into existence and said we
Yeah.
didn't do any of the decks. See, I'm telling you, words have power, people. Speak nice to yourself. So Diana,
Yes.
if you would like, I pulled a J, which is the focus on the good deck. So let me pick up that deck and then I will pick a random card. You want me to do front, back, or middle?
I'm sorry, I came a little late. Front, back, and middle of what?
Of this card deck. Where would you like me to choose?
Oh, I see. Middle.
You got it. This one is yours. So this deck is a little special because it's double-sided, the cards. And so the
Okay.
front is an affirmation and the back is a fill in the blank question. So your affirmation is, I am a beautiful soul. I am a beautiful soul. And your fill in the blank is, I am most proud of my. So what are you most proud of?
I am most proud of my work history. I used to be an academic and career counselor, an adjunct professor, and a program director. And I'm most proud of how I was able to do all 3 at once. And needless to say, I was running around like a chicken without a head. So I was able to do that before I got sick, but then I got sick and now I can't do as much as I used to do. But I'm very proud that I was able to do that. I'm the first one in my generation to go to college, and I'm very proud of how hard I worked and how well I was able to manage and juggle, and I did it well. And I was made sure my boss would tell me you did do well, and so that's what I'm most proud of. What was the other question?
There was just one. The other was the affirmation, and the affirmation is, I am a beautiful soul. So that is what you tell yourself. I am a beautiful soul.
So do I comment on that or just take that in?
You can just take it in, but if you'd like to comment, you totally can.
Well, I am a beautiful soul. I don't always believe it, but I am, and I try really hard to do what's right, and I try to help people whenever I can, and in any way that I can. I use my counseling skills, and whether it's at home, on the subway, the people, there's always people who are hurting. And I remember one day I went home on the subway like usual, and there was a young girl there, and I take my counseling skills with me wherever I go, and she was hurting. I could see she was hurting. So I sat next to her and rode the subway way past my stop, to kind of console her and let her know that someone noticed, that it's because people are in pain and people are really good at hiding it. I know I'm very good at hiding. So whenever I can, I notice and I take action, even if it's just to listen. So I think that makes me, I guess, a beautiful soul. I try really hard. So
Thank you for sharing, Diane. Thank you for letting us in. As someone who just met you, I definitely don't take it for granted, especially because we just met. Thank you for all of your years of service. I'm proud of you for prioritizing your health. I know that you can't do that anymore, or at least not to the extent like you said, but that doesn't mean you're not making a difference. So thank you for existing.
thank you.
Yeah. Next we have Casey. I want to make sure I said that.
Hello. Yeah, you said that right. Right.
Thank you, Casey. You have a king. So player's choice, whatever you'd like.
I will share a vibe. So is one of my favorite albums that I have is actually from the 2003 version of Peter Pan, and some of that instrumental music always just makes me very, very happy. Like I think it's part of the nostalgia of watching it from when I was a kid to like remembering the scenes and everything. So that album, specifically the second song on the album titled Flying, is probably one of my top 5 songs out there. So it just always brings me joy, and it's just kind of magical, and it always brings me happiness when I hear it. So I often play it when I need a little bit of happiness in my life.
I'm glad you have that song, Casey. You always deserve joy. Thank you for sharing. I'm making a mental note, Flying, which is track 2. I will look into that later. Next we have Kimberly. Ta-da. Okay, I always pause because you never know. Sometimes people think your name is obvious to pronounce. Your name deserves to be respected. So we have 4.
You are correct. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'm actually at the nail salon and getting my nails done.
Live your life. Live your life. Thank you for spending your lunch break with us, while also spending it with yourself. You have a 4 if you would like it, which is a joy exchange.
No, thank you. A joy exchange.
So anything that brings you joy.
Okay. Cooking brings me joy.
Yay.
Dancing brings me joy. And my family. So those are just 3 little things. I can't sing that well, but like while I'm cooking, I'll break out the karaoke and all of that other good stuff, dancing around. So yeah. And I work in the mental health field, so I always try to keep a smile and do something that, keeps me happy. Because that's hard sometimes when you're dealing with a lot of people in their own issues. So, and
That
thanks
resonated very deeply with me.
for getting this together for us.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you have those 4 things to start with, because I know you said that was just for starters.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Kimberly, and thank you for doing everything that you do, especially from one mental health person to another. Okay, just in case, I want to cater to the nonverbal people again. So I'm going to pull, and how is it a 7 all over again? Okay, I will pull again. That wasn't a trick. I guess my memory just works in different ways. So this is 5, which is conference feedback. Maybe I should pick again though, because I can't model for that one. So 10, put some respect on your name. So acknowledge something that you've accomplished or that you are striving to accomplish, or maybe something that you've learned with the group. I see self-care. That is definitely one. Not that it needs my seal of approval. I'm just resonating with it. Diana.
Hi again. I think I'd like to strive for a PhD. So going on for my education. Ever since I was in undergraduate, I've wanted to be Dr. Diana. Not very formal, but definitely with the doctor in front of my name. And so that's what I'm striving for.
Dr. Diana, it shall be then. I also want to make sure I give a shout out. I know in the chat I finished my MBA this year.
Excellent.
Trayvon, thank you. I was like, I was fully anxious that I would mess that up. So thank you, Martina. Conference feedback is, I love the way we are all engaging. Thank you for the feedback, Linda. Yeah, okay, I shall pick another card, just in case. Okay, so we haven't done this one yet, the Make Something Magical deck. So anyone, let me know, should I pick from the front, the back, the middle? What are we feeling? I will pick whichever is the first one I see. Middle, you got
Middle
it.
from Cynthia.
Thank you, Martina. Our affirmation is, you'll grow beautifully in your own way. You will grow beautifully in your own way. And our prompt is the same one as before. I am most proud of mine. So in the chat, or raise your hand, what are people most proud of themselves for?
I am most proud of my growth.
Thank you for sharing, Martina. I am proud of you being proud of yourself. Trayvon says, surviving the pandemic. Yes.
Right.
I am thankful for that as well, Trayvon. On your behalf and for myself.
Cynthia said she's most proud of her accomplishments to become a teacher and an administrator. Hooray. Congratulations.
Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, I shall draw again. Believe it or not, folks, I mean, for me at least, I know time is a construct, but also a matter of perception. I'm like, for me, time flew. It's already 1:10. I know we have until 1:30. So we drew a J, which is focus on the good deck. Let me know, folks. Whichever one's the first one I see. Front, back, middle, where am I picking from?
The front. As for Cynthia.
Okay, so the first one is, I am proud of who I am becoming. I am proud of who I am becoming. I back. Why is this I am proud of? Okay, so see, we're gonna take the back one of this one, and it says I am capable of. I am capable of. How do folks want to fill in that blank? I am capable of. I will say I am capable of taking care of myself, even
Reshma
when
said
I don't.
anything.
Okay, anything.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Projecting positivity.
Projecting positivity. Yes, Cynthia, that is amazing.
Anything.
And
you
Jackie
project.
V said anything you put your mind to, which is something that we all need to be mindful of sometimes. Stacy Williams said she's capable of keeping a positive mindset. Casey said choosing happiness. And Nikita, showing love and compassion always. That is a major, major plus.
I think I'm
Ooh,
gonna add I'm capable of
love this.
saying no. Because that's a big one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Capable of saying no.
Yes, that is a good one. We all find ourselves in those positions where we're like, oh, I really want to say no, but then you end up saying, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Diana, I think I just missed your raised hand. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was thinking I'm becoming someone who can rise up from the ashes. I've been, I've had my health issues, but I'm trying really hard to, to first complete my education, which has been a challenge, but also to think about the future and getting back to work and teaching and things like that, going back to what I know and love. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Diana. Dr. Diane. Sorry.
Not yet. Soon, but not yet.
So we have Stacy Williams that's saying that she sees the good in everyone. And Diana Jackie is rooting you on. She said, keep going, you got this.
Thank you, Jackie.
Ooh, 3 ones. It is 111. That is a good omen, folks. I
Okay.
shall pull one more.
All right.
I want to give folks time at the end also. So I know we just did this one, so I will pull again. Okay, so we will go back. This might actually be a good, see what happens? This might be a good way to end. This is the one deck I think we haven't done, which is our affirmations deck. Okay, am I pulling from front, back, or middle, folks?
Back.
You got it. So the last card on here says, I give myself space to grow and learn. I give myself space to grow and learn. Okay. Does that resonate with anyone? Did that make folks think of anything? Is that maybe what somebody needed to hear?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to be mindful of folks' time. I really do hope that my intention has matched my impact. But if it hasn't, I will own that it didn't, because that is a part of reality. But thank you again for spending, whether it be your lunch break or you rearranging your schedule. I'm grateful that we had this time to coexist. And if folks do ever want to reach out again or to keep in contact or anything, please feel free to find me on LinkedIn. But you are loved, you deserve joy, you deserve nourishment, food, water, sunshine, fresh air, love, anything. You claim it, it should be yours. So thanks, folks. I will pass it back to our co-hosts.
So Cynthia said she's yes, that affirmation hit home and taking on a new role. We have a couple more. Everyone is thanking you, Crystal. This was a great session. Jackie said, thank you all. You deserve all great things also. I think that this was a very effective session, and I'm hoping that you all get to go home with a piece of it. Reshma is saying to review what's coming up for the next conference. There's a link in the chat for a survey that we're asking for you all to complete. Anthony Sweeney said it was so nice to hear everyone's ideas of joy. And I think that this session really resonated with the name. I'm happy that to be a part of it. I'm happy to have shared the afternoon with you all. Crystal, you did an amazing job. I love the idea of the card deck, and I think I'll take it and use it in some of my practices.
Please, please, my radical, there's no ownership here. We share resources. Please, please take it, use it. It's,
Yeah.
it's not about you taking it, you are reclaiming it. It has
Yeah.
always been yours.
That's right. So the link for the survey is in the chat. If you guys could just go ahead and take the time out now to complete that, you'll be here. Trayvon shared a song. So there's another link there for you guys to listen. We can all, I love this. The camaraderie here is amazing.